Hello, welcome. Okay, so let's get started. What I have done is I had divided it into five parts and I had gone through a lot of videos on YouTube and I took hints from all of them and I decided to make a plan of my own. So the first thing is description. So you have to describe how the weather is like. Either the weather has to be sunny or it has to be a winter. So one of this has to suit you, right? Either the picture will have a sunny description or it will have a winter description. Secondly, the description of the surrounding, description of the atmosphere, description of the feelings of the main character. Okay, so the main character also has to be described, and at the end, there has to be a bit of shift over in the picture there has to be a little bit of change, so that is also very important. Now, talking about the first point that I said, sunny or winter description. So here you see the first point is sunny and winter description, and if you look at this, there are two descriptions that I have written. This first is a sunny description. The sun dripped warmth like a hot wax, both soothing and smarting the people below. So if you see, this is the kind of picture luckily that I had got for my exam. So the sunny description fitted here perfectly, and everything that I had described about a sunny description fits in this image. So I was lucky. I got a very simple image, and because we are non-native speakers, it is possible that we get simple images, not a very difficult one like they give for the GCSE exam. So the description over here is the everything that I have written here. So you have to understand that you have to by heart it well, right? And the winter description also over here, if you see, the kind of winter is related to being cold and dark when not many people leave the house. So the winter description might work for the second picture, which is kind of dark and stuff. And in the first picture, it's a sunny description. And if you see, I have made use a lot of language over here and a lot of punctuation. This is why I say that have a ready-made template, because language and punctuation is not easy to use in while you're writing the question and answers. But here, because you have a ready-made template, it works for you. And there is a lot of metaphor you will see in this, as though some Greek god has been reborn to hurl shafts of glorious light on the grateful clouds below. So this is the kind of metaphor and stuff that the examiner is actually looking for. And when you have a ready-made template, it becomes easy for you, because then even the time a lot of time is also saved. And so this picture, if you see, it becomes quite the sunny description falls in exactly over here. And the sky showed off its artistry with a semicolon, their cobalt blue depths, azure outlines to the few white clouds, a sapphire halo around the sun. Beneath, a watcher might shut their eyes and see the sea. So there's a repetition, the sea stretched out in lazy ripples. So here there is a sibilance that we call a repeated S sound, which actually the examiner looks for, and a lot of comma, a lot of alliteration and personification is what has been used. So this is the kind of template that you should prepare, and it becomes easy. So if not the sunny description, at least the winter description will work for you. So if a picture is dark, there's no light, there's no sun, so that is when you can use the winter description, like the winds flex their muscles in the east, whipping the clouds into shape, marching them across the sky. The black jackboots of the rain trapped across the horizon, stamping cold onto the world beneath, as though some long dead tyrant had returned armed with winter's fury. The sky put on its black cape, and all these things will actually help you to get some marks. And let me remind you, there is a lot of learning which will take at least 1 to 2 days or 3 days for you to by heart. So now the same picture, talking about the next thing that we will be discussing about is we are talking about what is the surrounding like. Okay, so what is the surrounding like? So if you see, the second point is talking about the description of the surrounding. The description of the surrounding in the heart of the picture is the So you're talking about the surrounding, and you're talking about what is there around. You're not talking about the main character because the main character hasn't been introduced yet. Talking about what's around here. Okay, so we can talk about in the heart of the picture is the dash that leaps out like a burst of energy. So dash that leaps out like a burst of energy, when you're saying this dash is actually for you to fill in, so you can write over here the children or the people that leap out like a burst of energy, quite telling their own story. They carry a meaning of weight. So this description will go perfect with a picture that is very lively, and the atmosphere when it is very lively, this kind of it goes very well. They are like the subtle, they have their own stories to tell, and they are bold, they carry a weight of meaning of their own. It means that these are the things that cannot be underestimated. When you're looking at a picture, you're saying that these things also carry a meaning, and they are like those bold, you can say subtle, or you can say bold shadows that dance behind a brilliant frame through coming out through an unbroken darkness. Or you can, even if it is a dark picture, you can say unbroken darkness, but you can say it's perfectly supporting. Now this same description you can also use on the other picture, where you will use the other whether the slash that you see is for you to use in case if it is a sunny picture, you use one of the descriptions, and if it is a winter picture, then winter description, or a picture that is a bit dark, that is when you will use the other part of it. So you can say in the heart of the picture are the cars or are the people. They do not burst out in energy, so the second part you are going to use here is frozen in time. There is a stillness in the motion. They are also quite telling their own story. They are like those shadows that carry a weight of their meaning, and they are like those subtle shadows that literally they are not dancing behind a brilliant flame but harsh beams. So here you're not going to use the brilliant flames but harsh beams that carve through an unbroken darkness and perfectly supporting the darkness of the night is what you can say. So a bit of description of the surroundings. So this is just my way of what I thought would work for me. So I had made the same kind of I had made a paragraph and I had used these slashes to make sure that if it was a sunny description or a lively description, or there were children around, or there was hope around, I would use half one part of it. And then I had put those slashes where if it was a dark image and not so lively, something that looks lonely, then I would use the other part of it. So that's how you can describe the surrounding. Yeah, the harsh beams. So instead of saying the brilliant flame, for this you can say the harsh beams. And perfectly, you can, sometimes perfectly supporting, or the brilliance of the day, or you can say contrasting the brilliance of the day. So if it's dark, that means it's not something that is related to darkness, like a day is not related to darkness, so it's a contrast. Then what you go is towards the third part, that is the description of the atmosphere. So we have to describe the atmosphere. The atmosphere can be lively, can be dark, sometimes it can be sad, or it can be happy. There can be different kind of emotions and different kind of pictures. When you look at it, you have to talk about it. So description of the atmosphere when it comes to a picture which is very bright and nice, and there's hope and there's light, you can see the atmosphere of the picture is thick with what kind of emotions? It's a happy emotion, hanging in the air like the first note of a song yet to be written. So it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor to the first note of a song which is yet to be written. And when there's a first note, it's like a happy thing that there's a song that's being written, and there's a, it's a starting of something, it's a beginning of something. And then you write your own description of the surrounding, just a 2 or 3 line, because you have to add some element of some from not everything can be learned, like you have to write something from the picture as well. You can talk about the green trees over here, the tall buildings, you can say the lush green trees giving shade to the people who are sitting under. they're enjoying the sun at the same time, the shades, and you can just write whatever comes to your mind, which if you can put it in good language, well and good. Otherwise, you are using good language throughout the text. So here you can write things that you feel you want to write. So write your own description, and then you go to the space fills alive, not void. It is alive, as though the very air is holding a story, and it provides with a sense of something beautiful, not tragic or mysterious, but beautiful, because we are describing the sunny picture. It's a moment. We are going to write the second thing now here. It's a moment alive, though no stillness, no silence, just pulse of energy that fills the air. So here, this is a no just statement, which is also a kind of something that the examiner might be happy to read. It's a moment alive. But for this picture, you can use the earlier part, right? You can say that the atmosphere of the picture is thick with sad emotions, or maybe if you know a better word for sad, you can use that, hanging in the air like the last note of a long forgotten song. So again, this here you're describing it as a last note of a long forgotten song, something tragic over here. Then you write your own description of the surrounding. You can talk about how people are, in a rush, and this guy is lonely. You can describe this guy. You can say describe people in the car, like from we've been working throughout the day, and now there is lost in energy, and people are just rushing towards their home. They're working 9 to 5, maybe something that you can describe on the basis of that. The space feels alive, no. So in the second picture you will say the space feels void of life, as to the very air is holding a story, and it provides with a some sense of something beautiful, no, it provides a sense of something tragic or mysterious. So, same description, you're just altering it depending on the picture. It's a moment frozen, no noise, no movement, just a quiet tension hanging in the air. So maybe the man is lost in his own thoughts, and it's frozen for him. There's no people around him, there's no noise, there's no movement. He is just lost in his own thoughts, and maybe there's just a quiet tension hanging in the air. So this is what you will write in case of the other part. This is what I did. So for the winter description, you can write that, and if you look at this picture, it's quite like that. Now, moving on to the next part of it, that is description of the feeling of the main character. So, from this picture, you have to pick that one main character, and maybe in this, you can talk about the children can be the main character. That you can, or in this picture, this man can be the main character. So, you have to pick up a main character, and then you have to describe how that character feels. So, description of the feeling of the main characters, like over here you can describe how these children are enjoying their day, no stress. The feeling of the children seems to radiate outwards. So if you see, you can talk about how these children, they are not stressed about their life, they are under their parents care. The feeling of the children seems to radiate outward, wrapping itself around the viewer like an aroma that surrounds the air. Here you will give your own description. Now, so once you write this one line of a metaphor like a aroma that surrounds the air, then you give your own description of the feeling of the main character. It can be either joy or sad, depending upon how the picture is. So if you talk about the picture one that we're talking about, in picture one, you can see that there is a lot of love when people are spending their time with their young ones, and how parents are so happy. There's a lot of color around. You can talk about the children, they are not stressed about life. They are they're so happy in the presence of their parents, and they are the children's present pulls you in like a vibrant breeze, inviting you to feel the joy beneath the surface. Yet you glimpse the strength that stands firm, calm, and ready to rise. So here you're going to talk about how vibrant it is, and same description will can be used in case of the other picture as well. So here you can see the feeling of the main character, the man. You can put it in much better words. I know you guys are highly capable, much capable than me. You can write lot better. The feeling of the man seems to radiate outside, wrapping itself around the viewer like a shroud. So this is like, you are looking at him and you're feeling for him. Probably, why is he so alone? What is he thinking? Why is he standing in the middle of the road? And what is it that he is waiting for? And what is it that is there someone who's longing for him to reach home, or is he all alone? So these are the kind of feeling that you can get when you're looking at a man like this. Or there is, there is so much more to it. So you have to write about what is the feeling, what is he thinking. Probably you have to give him a character to play, and that character you have to write what kind of a character he's playing. When you're writing your own description, the man's presence pulls you in like a silent storm, inviting you to feel the sorrow beneath the surface. Yet you glimpse the strength that stands firm, calm, yet ready to rise. So I want you to appreciate that how many commas and colons, semicolons have been used over here, because this is, otherwise it is difficult for us to use, because all we use is a comma or a full stop, but you have to use a lot of colons and a semicolons as well. So this is what happens when you're writing a template. You can always use a lot of languages, and punctuation, that's what I said in a picture description, you should always keep it ready. Moving on to this now, writing about the last part, there has to be a shift in the mood. Shift in the mood means a sunny day will come to an end when the sun sets. So there has to be a shift in the mood. So just think about what happens next, and when it happens, how are you going to describe it? So just say that you can use like the sun has set and the sun has the rays of the sun have become were so sharp, now they have become light and people are ready to go back to their homes. It was a lovely day and fun filled day, and how the day might, people might remember this day for the next week, and it will keep them going. The time that they have spent with their loved ones keeps them going. So there's a shift in the mood. Now the sun has set and the people have started to move to their houses. That's how you have to write. Same way for this image also, there has to be a shift. So if he is sad, there has to be a shift in his mood. Like you're going to describe it like, he is ready to fight. So every day brings new challenges. So when a day ends, it takes away all the sorrows, and then the sun rises, and the sun rises, it is synonymous to a starting of a new beginning, and how you start your day, and how you are ready to fight, how you're ready to rise. So this is the kind of shift that you can give to an image which is a bit dark, like, yeah, the a new day has started, and you are the man, he is now ready to rise, and he is ready to face the world again. So this is the kind of change that you have to give, and then you can write a sentence of your own for the shift. And then you were talking about the mood, right? The mood one's thick with. So what happens, in the first picture one, it's like the mood over here is, it's like a pond which was continuously rippling, and now it is stopped to ripple. Like there's a peace and there's a calm, because there was a day full of emotions, and people, children running here and there, and people doing all sorts of things. And then now it has become calm. So like, those ripples that are when you throw a stone in water and the ripple starts, and the water starts to ripple. It was that kind of scene throughout the day. And now that people, the sun has set and people have started going back to their home, it has become very quiet and silent. So that is what you have to write. So these are the 5 points that you'll be write, that I had actually written. And this is my ready-made template. I made sure that I use a lot of punctuation and metaphors and a good language, a lot of words. It did take time for me to learn this, because yes, it was difficult. I took around 3 to 4 days to memorize this. But just remember, again, we're talking about 45 marks. If you want to get this template, you can always message me below the video, and I will send it to you. That's all. Thank you for listening, and anything that you need to know, please message me, and I will very be happy to help you.